says all fair.
All right, we're in. We're live. We got the thing that says live. OBA preseason content / division redrawing. Redrawing the divisions. Frau, we got Kamish is here. This is a very special episode. Kamish, what up?
What's
we
up,
got
dude?
Jats, the big baller himself, is here. Jats, how you doing, brother?
Triple B's, baby.
And then none other than MT, the champ.
What's up? Hello. Hello.
MT flashing the bling. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to draw the teams. Hints is going to draw them. I don't know, write them down, I guess. And then we're going to talk about that team. Simple enough.
Right.
You want to do first bit? Where do you go?
First drawing for the computer blue division. What's it say?
TTP.
Oh my.
Everything is going to be backwards, so I hope everyone's okay with that. But yeah, we got RT in the computer blue division.
It's not.
Yo, shout out to like having trouble to read shit backwards. This is right. You have it right. Like this is actually the right way to do it. MT, you're like the RT guy. And
Always have been. Always have been. Always will be. What an interesting offseason for RT in that he could not physically do anything in free agency except for have the most ridiculous bid off of all time, trying to figure out how to shed cap while Jack's tried to figure out how to shed cap, and then all over Victor freaking Oladipo. Like,
he's the lead guy.
Trying to find out there he is.
Like somebody else for.
Let's not get it twisted. Miles Turner is the lead guy for the Pacers.
Let's be very blunt here about RT's team. It is.
We'll get to Zig eventually.
Yeah. RT comes down to one thing and one thing only, and that is the health of every single Sixers player that he owns.
Right. I couldn't agree more. Honestly, RT could win if Joel Embiid puts it together like that season. Like, he could be that fucking good, but he also might miss the playoffs because there's a lot of injury concern.
Well, he's lucky in that he's got Embiid and Simmons under contract for, relatively speaking, very good deals. And the guys that he is paying money to are, Kevin Love is still a high-quality player. And now with Kyrie gone, he's probably got more of the load that he'll take on. But, Tristan Thompson getting relegated. DeAndre without CP3, it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. Depot, will he be able to actually become that league guy like you guys are talking about? I'm skeptical about it, but I think RT's team has good balance and is gonna, they'll be there. They'll be there. I just don't know if they can take the next step that he's anticipating.
No, I actually got to agree with you on the balance as well. And I'm looking at his deals for. I really like his deals for Patterson and Bazemore. Those are two. That's too high value. Bazemore's not the best shooting guard in the league, but he's going to get you buckets. He's going to get you points.
Patterson, Johnson, and Bazemore should be value contracts.
And Patterson's going to knock down some threes for you. He's got guys that get him rebounds and blocks. He's going to run away with the rebound totals every week with Tristan and DeAndre. Like we said, and if Joel can just keep it together just for a couple games this season, he might be okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
I want Dan to do very well, because if Dan does very well, that means I will be very happy in real life. So I'm praying that Dan does really well.
RT is one of those guys where, if RT's doing good, then the OBA is doing good, and we'll have a lot to talk about. So
yeah, that's the truth. And so will the NBA.
Totally.
The Knicks.
Knicks is gonna be lit. Any other thoughts on RT? You gonna move it along? We want to.
Let's just say in or out of the playoffs. You think RT?
Oh, definitely in. I think he's definitely in the playoffs.
I'd say in as well.
All right.
And
move on to the next team.
So now, is this going to Computer Blue as well, or is this going to Lake Minnetonka?
No, this is going to go to Lake Minnetonka.
Okay.
We got
Jax.
Oh,
the big baller himself.
blessing himself,
Oh,
purifying himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Jats had as dynamic an offseason and like a single rebuild as I think we've seen in OBA. Spent the money on Westbrook, Gasol, Hoodie Mello, Evan Fournier, made the deal with me, got Jimmy Buckets. I mean, this is a team that's all in.
Whoa, hey.
So
Jax,
obviously, like I love.
what is Jack's team name? Is it still the Fuckboys?
It's still the Fuckboys, but I'm going to change it because we've moved past the Fuckboy state.
I think I will adopt the Fuckboys name. I think I deserve that name. But it's been moved on.
Like, I've been wallowing in the depths of the filth of this league for so long that, with all this cap money, I just wanted to, like I said, to go all in. And even though some might criticize me for, let's say, not going for like a Paul George and Russell, LeBron and somebody else, I say to you this: I got 4 to 5 quality players this offseason, and still stayed under hard cap. So I'm ready to come. I'm ready to come through. I'm ready for the chip, bro.
Pointing out that you stayed under the hard cap when your salary is $249 is like, I mean, you did do it. That's true, but
yeah.
Kamish.
I love the Westbrook deal, and I like the Jimmy Buckets trade, no doubt. I just the 2 deals with Gasol and Melo are great, but they're deals that are going to be better like this year and next year, and then they might stink on the back half there. So he's really went all in, which is fine. But I if I was him, I would have grabbed somebody a little bit younger so that you could have that core for a longer amount of time.
That's fair. Well, I got Russell Westbrook for 69 exactly, so I feel like my offseason was a success.
Nice.
Based on that.
I mean, I'm 100% team big baller Jats this year. I've already made that known. I'm riding with this team. Point totals are going to be high. I don't know how it's at. Like, this team coming together, we don't know how it's going to look. Like, we don't know how the categories are really going to shake out, except for Dave. Dave knows exactly how every category will shake out. But
right.
I think that's a great point, that what you're saying about Jax's team in fantasy is going to kind of emulate a lot of these players in real life. Like, if you looked at this team last year, you would have said, wow, like, he's got a lot of studs who are the guy on their teams, and now he's got Melo and Russ on the same team. Like, Jimmy Butler's coming into a situation where he's the 3rd option, maybe. Like, we don't know how that's going to shake out yet at this point. So I mean, you got to like the names on Jax's team, but call me skeptical that the substance will be all the way there. I think it's going to take time for those guys to mesh on their teams, and I mean, I think there's too much talent there to not contend, but we'll see what happens if he's an actual contender versus just a playoff caliber team.
Yeah, I think he's second half of the playoffs, maybe 6, 7, 8 range in the league for the regular season.
Which is more than we can say for the last 3 or 4 years. So
I think this could be like a 4 or 5 team if everything shakes out. And then,
once you get in the playoffs, though, we all saw what can happen once you get in the playoffs. So
you did.
I feel kind of like the Timberwolves because you've been out the playoffs for so long. You got to give the fans something to root for.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Need something. Frown needs it.
I need it. I need this.
The fuckboy fans have long awaited an actual team to root for.
There we go.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on.
Ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, what do we got now?
Joining RT.
Crowd favorite.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Dearman and RT together.
Just as it was meant to be.
Well,
Dearman, I mean, he's got to find a way to build a squad around this John Wall contract.
Yeah,
I was much more optimistic about Dearman's team before the offseason than I am now after the offseason.
He went out and spent a lot of his money in places that I don't think he needed to. I didn't like the Jonas deal. Did he sign Reddit 3 to 11? Like, who knows how that kind of goes in the next couple of years? It could be like Corver.
It goes well. That's how it goes, Frau.
It could go well this year. It'll go well this year, but then we don't know afterwards.
But I've noticed too, like, I mean, most of he only has 2 real big men.
Yeah, he's gonna struggle because he doesn't have. I mean, John Wall's a good rebounding guard, but he's gonna struggle to get those other stats.
Exactly.
He basically has no blocks on his entire team other than Scal, and who knows what Scal's gonna do. Like, that's the only guy with like significant block potential.
He does have Ryan Arcidiacono though, so he's got proven winners on the team.
True, that's true.
He's gonna be good in steals. He's gonna be good in assists, but like percentages are gonna be tough, or at least field goal percentage.
Alfred Payton's gonna shoot him out of every week.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually in on an Alfred Payton breakout. I think he's a top 100 player this year, pretty easily.
My man is watching.
I don't know. Yeah, this team, now that it's been, it used up a lot of its cap space, I don't know how I feel about it as much.
Yeah, I'm not in on Jonas or Vucevic as like long-term pieces. Like, they might be okay this year, but I just don't think that they're like. I just hate signing guys like between $15 and like $30 who are just like not. They're just like okay, right? I feel like you can find those replacements on the waiver wire for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, and I think those teams have clearly taken strides to sort of change the structure of their rosters, or at least how they play. Like Vucevic in Orlando, they got Aaron Gordon and Jonathan Isaac and Biyombo, like guys who are way more athletic and can kind of Biyombo can't stretch the floor, but and then Toronto's got Ibaka now, so you got to figure they'll give him some time at the 5 and figure it out. But yeah, those are not the bigs that I want if you want to try and contend.
Agreed.
Which I'm sorry to say, because I love Connor. He's a very good friend of mine.
So we saying in or out? I'm saying out.
Out.
I'm gonna say in, just because I think his guards can at least get him there, but I think he's a 7, 8, 9 guy, and I'll lean towards in right now, but we'll see.
All right. Number 4.
Jordan Jacks.
Yep. Buckets.
Oh, the Buckets team.
Is that you?
That'd be me.
Yeah. I'm actually not.
The man in the video right there. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Henson, next time I come down there, we're balling, and I'm giving you at least 20 buckets.
No fucking way, bro. No fucking way.
All right, so let's start off with this team. I'll say this: I obviously love Boogie. I think with another year of him being with AD in a proper format, I think they can really get it going between assists, shooting the 3 ball, grabbing rebounds. I think Boogie can do it all, and I think his team also is pretty balanced all the way around. He made some good signings with Paul George. It's a pretty reasonable deal. Jamal Murray, he might be set to take off this year. And KCP for $1 is an absolute steal. I mean, with Lonzo giving him the ball, he's bound to at least score 15 again. One would hope.
He's bound to.
That's the point, man. He's got to get buckets for the Buckets team.
Got to get buckets for the Buckets team.
Yeah, I mean, this team put up a ton of points last year. Also, like, had good focus in other those lesser categories. I know Hinson lights. Big fan of Willie Hernan-Gomez. I was always frustrated seeing him not on Hinson's roster last year when I wanted to pick him up. Yeah, I'm a fan of this team. Like, I think everything breaks right health-wise and things like that. I'm a fan of Jamal Murray breaking out this year. Milos getting assists. I like it.
If Milos even stays rostered on his team.
Milos is Lob City 2.0.
I got Milos in the D League right now because I'm not quite sure what to do with him, but we'll see what happens.
I think it's very obvious that this team, talent-wise, is a top 3 team. I wonder, like, for so long, Hinson was like free D'Angelo, free Nurkic, right? Like, And finally, those guys kind of get free. But then you look, Paul George now is playing with two other guys who love playing with the ball, and DeMarcus Cousins is playing with Anthony Davis for a full year. Like, we'll see if that all works out, but it could also crash and burn, and we could be back to saying free Boogie, free whoever else Adam needs free to actually like win a championship for once in his life. But I don't know if it's going to happen.
Marcus Smart will have an incredible year, by the way, in a free agent season for both the Celtics and the money team. He lost 15 pounds. Which is
Marcus Smart lost 15 pounds and he's making threes. If I heard Tommy Heinsohn say that one more fucking time in that goddamn Sixers game, I was going to lose my mind.
Nurkic also lost 30 pounds, so we're team weight loss this summer.
Weight loss.
I'm in on Nurkic. I think Nurkic.
I mean, literally, Gordon, Nurkic, Smart, Russell, they should all massively outperform the contracts that they're on, which means if Draymond and Paul George and Boogie can provide equal value to the contracts that they're on, like, I got to be right there. I mean, CJ McCollum is going to outproduce his $20 again. Like, I got to be right there. It just comes down to what happens, week 1, week 2, week 3 of the playoffs. I don't really think there's much else to say.
Freaking Joe Ingles.
But you're definitely in the playoffs. So, I mean, you covered all your bases with, like I said.
Don't sleep on Joe motherfucking Ingles.
I'm fast asleep.
I am.
Wake up, Prowler.
Fast asleep. I don't know. So we agree this is a pretty good team. Going to be there to the end. I don't know.
I think Aaron Gordon is also a bad basketball player. I'm just going to say that.
See, you just haven't watched basketball then.
No, I have. So what did he do that well? Can he shoot?
He won a dunk contest, Steve.
Really?
He's the best athlete on the court every time he steps on it.
Yes, but he doesn't know what to do with himself. Like, he doesn't know. He doesn't get to the rack that well.
He's really good at power forward. When they played him at small forward, he sucked. Like the second half of last year, he like dominated. He averaged like 16 and 8 with a block. Like, and he's shooting threes now. Like, I think he's gonna be a beast.
Jats is using like the Kwame Brown, like Stephen A. Smith defense. Like, what can he do? What can he do?
He can't commit a post move to memory.
Talking about the power forward, but who did they just draft? They drafted Jonathan Isaac. Still play.
Yeah, Isaac's gonna play center with Gordon at power forward. Like, Gordon is their guy now. Like, they finally have decided that he's gonna be their guy. But the bottom line is, like, even if he has another off year, he's worth the $8. Like, I don't have him for $20. He's worth $8.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, so it can't be too bad.
All right, you want to draw another name?
Yeah, let's go for it.
An RT and Dearman in this group already.
It's only right that my name gets drawn right here, right?
Lions.
Oh, God, the exact opposite.
Lions.
Got to talk about Lions.
I'll start off. Lions team does not scare me in the least tiniest little bit. I am not scared at all of this team, and I don't even think it's that good.
I disagree.
Some Lions.
I disagree with that. I think it's solid team. I don't think it's like a crazy looking squad, but I mean, you have Anthony Davis is going to help you so much. Kemba and Brooke. I mean, I still think Brooke Lopez is a solid option in LA.
If we were doing a draft, Anthony Davis would be a first-round pick. Kemba Walker would probably be like a second-round pick. And then I see a bunch of guys that would be like 5th and 6th and 7th round picks. And that altogether just doesn't scare me at all.
So I will say that I'm not an Eric Bledsoe fan. I never have been, and I don't really think he stays healthy. So, but he's got Tyler Ulis there too. So I don't know what they're trying to do in Phoenix, but I mean, when he got playing time last year, he was pretty solid.
Also, Caleb Swanning is not a bad pickup. He looked pretty good in his last preseason game. He put up around 20 points. So, like, a guy they could rely to come off the bench, get a couple buckets for him. It's only $2. Not really. Obviously, it's a very, very low risk. But the rest of his team, I do agree with you, Brown. I'm not Brown hits. I'm not super afraid by it. Maybe a couple things not right for him, but that's a guy like Lauri Markkanen on the squad. I can't be afraid of it.
Maybe Dirk.
Baby Dirk.
I'm actually shocked that Jax looked at this squad and said he wasn't afraid of Lance Stevenson. I am stunned.
I am afraid. Well, on the one, yeah, I'm afraid. I am afraid of Dion. I mean, Dion's liable to drop 50. We know he's another first rounder that can
Liable to drop 50. 50 what? Like basketball points? Like what are you talking?
50 bricks, like missed shots, like.
This team has Kemba, Dion, and Lance Stevenson. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought this was Jack's team just by looking at it, honestly.
Hey, nothing wrong with it though.
Kemba Walker is mad nice though. Like, he had an incredible season last year. I just think he's like due for a little bit of regression. Like he just played so well last year that I just can't see him putting that together again, especially with like Dwight Howard just clogging the entire offense down.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that Dan's team will be around, and if it's not, he'll figure out a way to make his way back into contention. But as his team currently stands right now, I don't know.
It's a solid.
I think he's like in the playoffs probably, but I'm not. I think it's like bottom 4 of the playoff. Like he's not in the top 4 of the playoffs. He's in the bottom 4. Like he could miss. If he missed, I wouldn't be surprised. But I would say he's probably going to make it.
I think this team's definitely in the playoffs. It would surprise me if it didn't make it. There would have to be an injury, probably to Kemba or Anthony Davis.
Oh, yeah, because Anthony Davis never got hurt before.
I'm just saying, like, if they're healthy, this team's definitely a playoff team.
But if Anthony Davis does get hurt, he'll probably just trade him to Spence for Kevin Durant back.
Maybe it's Lions too and not Spina too.
Maybe it is.
All right. I don't know. Any other thoughts on Lions?
I'll say one last thing I'll say is Cody Zeller. That's a great pickup. He had a much improved season last season. Dwight Howard is a bum. You all know that. And I think eventually that Cody Zeller is going to start for him in place with Dwight Howard.
Disagree.
I agree with that.
He's a more complimentary player. He's more willing to. He's not going to demand the rock from Kemba and pout when he doesn't get it. So like, I'm in on Cody Zeller.
Didn't you read? We'll get to Dwight Howard. Now's not the time. We'll get there.
All right, next team into the division with me and Jax.
Oh.
Fan favorite.
PT's team. I think
PT has the best spreadsheet in the league with 49 waived dollars and 45 already for next year.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you make mistakes and you just got to own up to them.
It's a market inefficiency.
Terrence Jones, Monta Ellis, TCL.
He didn't even cut Tyreek Evans yet, so.
Will he? Tyreek's been playing in Memphis.
I guess, yeah.
That's like a pal going to do. Or Patty Mills, for that matter.
There are just so many like solid players on this team. Like, it sort of hinges on like Isaiah Thomas. Like this.
Yeah, obviously that's a huge thing, and with the injury, we don't really know. I mean, that's one of the reasons I traded him. Just had no idea what he's going to be like when he comes back.
So there's him. There's like Otto Porter. Is he really as good? Like he was just like an efficiency beast last year. Like he was like a top 20 guy somehow.
Yeah,
like Otto Porter.
He was shooting like 57% from the field and like 48% from 3.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, and I hate saying this. Like I just with the injuries that he's got, like I don't see how PT makes the playoffs this year.
It's crazy because like those top 4 contracts are all incredible values. Like Gobert, Thomas, Porter, Beal are all worth way more than those contracts. But it's canceled out by the fact that he has $49 literally giving him not a single stat. And then he also has $27 more in cap space that is not giving him anything. So like total he has what, $76 of nothing. And it's like you can't really compete like that.
Well, I'd like to add to that. Let's add $66 more of that because I'm looking at Tobias Harris on a $43 and Markieff Morris. Both pretty decent players. Not that bad. They're okay. but you don't pay $66 to OK. That's literally like the Lakers paying Luol Deng and Timothy Mozgov. That's what this man is about. I've done this in the past. He gave money to Al Jefferson.
And Tyreek Evans is on that list too.
Yeah, like, it's a poor look. It's not a good way to spend the money. I mean, I don't see either one of those two guys having a transcendent year, especially not Tobias Harris. It just looks like it's not going to work out in Detroit. But, I mean,
guys. He
has
has Frankie Nicotine, though, so
Frankie.
is that going to save him?
I mean, are we really high on Frankie Nicotine?
I think the main point that we come back to here is those 4 contracts are really good, but when Isaiah Thomas is going to be out half the season, like as good as Gobert and Beal are, like I don't think that's going to carry him to the promised land.
The way that this team is constructed, I feel like it's a year late. Like you just got career years, at least like fantasy wise, out of Otto Porter, Thomas. Like Gobert was a revelation, but like can they do all that again in addition to those other contracts maxing out with all those wave dollars? It's just too much to ask for that team the way it's constructed, I feel like.
Sorry, I'm just texting PT to apologize in advance.
Well, he said that he was too drunk after the Jets game to join us, so he'll probably be all right.
They had a rough. I was with Pat today, and that was a tense moment when they overturned that touchdown.
That was brutal. It was fucking brutal.
It was a clear touchdown. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand what happened. I still don't understand what happened.
I was just
But
like,
all right, on to the next team.
yeah, sure.
All right, we got a former champ here.
Money.
The Shmoney team. That was electric dancing. The Shmoney team. Tomo.
Going strong with the Shmoney team, considering that is Schmerda still locked up?
Murder's still locked up. They gave him 7 years.
Free Schmerda.
Wow.
7 years, man. To
Yeah,
be
it's
fair,
already
name all of the murderers in the song, so that wasn't good.
the murders in the song. Yo, so is Kyle Kuzma the Nets like Paul George? Like, is he actually good? Like, what? How did he last to like 27 in the real life draft, and then he's the best player of all time now?
So, funny enough, my friend Jakar and I, we literally got hyped as soon as he got drafted because we started watching the old videos of him in college. Like, he could literally do everything well. He defended, he could shoot, he could drive to the hole. I mean, he wasn't crazy athletic or anything like that, but he looked like a guy that could clearly play in the NBA. And you saw it through summer league. You're seeing it in the preseason. He's leading the Lakers in points scored, and that defies logic. Now with Lonzo giving him open looks, open shots, and as they develop that chemistry, I eventually think he's going to start over. Maybe Julius Randle, maybe not, but at least I'd say maybe by later in the season, especially if it doesn't work out with Randle, he'll be a starter towards the end of it. It's a great pick for Tomo.
I am so not buying into the Kyle Kuzma hype. It's not even funny. I don't have any reason to base that off of because I've never actually seen him play in a real life NBA basketball game. But I just
he's doing this thing where he's shooting like 70%, and it's just like not possible to continue. Like it literally,
I'm looking at his Roto World.
You're not going to shoot at that level.
I'm looking at his Roto World. In his last 2 games, he shot 5 of 14 and 1 for 8. So he is 6 for 20.
He's already coming back. Yeah,
6 for 22 in his last 2 games. Like, and it's preseason. How many preseason heroes have we seen before that have faded out? Like, once we get to the real life NBA season, I'm not buying this Kyle Kuzma hype at all.
Terry Rozier is still around, so silence.
No comment on all that shit.
No, I mean you better stop playing. It's solid.
I mean, at the same time, as a Sixers fan, I've been hyping up 4 years of process, so who knows? What else we got?
Well, I'll say this. I'm not a huge Blake Griffin fan. That's why I didn't really want to bid on him. While I do think for a very short time while he's on the court, he'll definitely perform very well passing, shooting, getting rebounds, kind of just like being the go-to guy. But I'm worried about him getting injured. Man. Really worried about him getting.
All right, guys, I got a question for you. Who do you think is older, Andrew Wiggins or Kyle Kuzma?
Definitely Kuzma.
Yeah, I'll go Kuzma. Somehow.
Greg?
Yeah, Kuzma was 4 years, I believe.
Wiggins was what, 19 when he came out, so he's been in the league 3 years. So
he's going into his 4th year.
I'll say, I mean, I feel like because you're asking the question, the answer is Kuzma, so I'm going to go Kuzma.
All right, so Wiggins is is 3 months older.
Oh,
but he's already played 3 years in the league. Like, that's the reason. Like, come on, Kuzma's old as fuck. He should be beating up on 19-year-olds. Like, that's, it's not that hard. And, like, against the backups in the preseason, like, Kyle Kuzma might be better than his draft stock, but he's not some generational player. Like, I'm just so out on this preseason hype train that's on him. Now, he's probably going to be worth $1, but whatever.
Who else is on this team that's intriguing? I mean, like, Tomo always manages, I feel like, to fill out his roster well, but I mean, Damari Carroll is still.
I mean, call me crazy. I feel like Tomo is sort of like he's kind of top heavy in the way that, I mean, like, he's big man heavy, which, I mean, Whiteside, Blake Griffin, Steven Adams, Horford, that's probably as good of a big man rotation as you're going to see in the league, which is kind of how I built my team last year. So I like that aspect of it, but I don't think he's got like the 3-point capabilities to sort of swing that. Like, that's kind of how I see how his team would be going, but I just don't think he's got the firepower. I think he'll be around sort of like how I was. Like, he'll win some weeks, he'll lose some weeks, but he won't get blown out at any point in time.
Yeah, the rebounding and the blocks is going to be strong there. Love Al Horford because he gets you like assists from the center, which is great. But having Carroll and Anderson being like $40 dead there definitely hurts. So we'll see if he can do something to improve.
I kind of see Carroll as having a
with those guys.
Bounce back year. I don't know if he's going to be, 28?
Yeah.
28.
I don't know if he's going to be 28 worthy. And then Ryan Anderson, I mean, we'll see how it works out because there's only one ball, right? Sure. Let's remember that. There's only one ball. So we'll see.
Right. So what do we think? In or out of the playoffs for Toma?
I think even if something bad does happen to one of his players, like injury, like I said, to Blake, I still think he'll make the right move. So I'm going with in.
I'm going without. Just not seeing it out of this team.
I think slightly out, but I would take him over Dearman or PT, I think. So maybe in.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's right in the Dearman range, maybe a tick higher. I'll say he's in.
All right. The next team we got.
Sark.
Big Z.
Febreze Brothers. LeBron.
What do we think of the offseason that Zark had? Picks up Lonzo Ball, picks up LeBron James, picks up Gortat. He picks up Jalil the Bum.
Ugh.
Picks he got Kyle Korver in a trade to dump some future salary. Or I think he got some picks or something. I mean, I thought he had a good offseason. I just think that he didn't have I think it could have gone a little bit better for him, but I think overall he had a very good offseason.
He definitely improved.
Oh, no doubt.
Definitely improved. It's just tough to see like what the Nets move or two is to like step him even further. He's not going to have a ton of free agent money next year. I mean, a big key here I'm looking at is Chris Dunn. Like, what does he become? Are they giving him like keys in Chicago, or is he still going to back up like Jerry and Grant? That's not a good sign.
You would hope that he can eventually beat out Jerry and Grant. I mean, if he can't do that, then that's a sign that he's not ready for the league.
Can he beat out Arch? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have Arch.
Couldn't do it in college. Let's see if he can do it in the NBA. No, I kind of agree to Frau's points here. Like Hayward, LeBron, Booker, Lonzo. I mean, for the next 2-3 years is probably on an upward.
I mean, Levine is good if he comes back healthy. We don't exactly know what it's going to look like when he comes back, but
he won a dunk contest too.
Well, plus he's on the Bulls, and the Bulls have nobody. So, like, he's going to be a main focus of the Bulls rebuild. He's going to be a major player there. And Chris Dunn, like, it sucks if he sucks, but also Zerk can just cut him after this year with no future stuff. So then all of a sudden he has almost 30 in space, and he could actually go get somebody who's like a decent piece. You know, maybe he makes one more move to either free up space or something along those lines. But, well, actually, if you look at the sheet, if he just declines the options that he has next year, plus he declines Chris Dunn, he's looking at almost $50 in space. So that can get you one of the better players out there next season. There's not a lot of guys with cap space next offseason.
But are there going to be players worth going after next year? Because like
I already told you, Aaron Gordon going to be out there. He's going to ball out this year.
I've slept so far.
Like, so are there actually going to be players out there next year for
We don't know.
him to go after?
Well, it's interesting. There's definitely Isaiah Thomas, who knows what he looks like when he comes back, but he could be a really good player. I have Gordon and Smart and Hernan Gomez as free agents. I won't be able to re-sign all of them. I'm not sure exactly who else is out there, but I'm sure that there are some other decent options.
I'm sure there's decent options. I just don't think there's because there's not going to be money to spend, but also I don't think the money that there is there to spend will be worth spending on, whoever.
That's fair.
Because all the guys that were 3-year, 4-year guys on their first contracts all signed in the past 2 years for most likely 4-year deals because we love giving out 4-year deals now. So
well, there's the guy Joel Embiid's going to be a free agent in our league, so it might be worth spending the money on. DeAndre Jordan.
Klay Thompson is then on the couch if anybody wants him. I will throw.
How much you paying Clay?
88.
I would throw 88.
God dang. Yeah, you secured the bag from you, I see.
We'll get to me. It's okay.
Zark, in or out?
Man, he's right on the line for me. It really could go either way. I'm gonna go in, even though I think I'm putting way too many teams in, but I think it's in.
I'm gonna say Zerk's out.
I feel like I'm putting too many teams out. I'm also out here too.
All right. Well, then as a group, we can balance each other out.
Yeah, I'm kind of out as well. I mean,
I think there's way too much dead weight here.
Yeah. If Devin Booker can have a step forward year, and if Chris Dunn actually is a legit semblance, at least just an okay starting point guard, I think he'll be in. But that's a lot of big ifs. So
yeah,
I'm out on this team. Although I do like him. And
Devin Booker's mad interesting because obviously he can get buckets, but all those other stats, is he going to be? Where else is he going to be a positive? Is it going to be assist? Is it going to be steal? He doesn't really do that much of that stuff. So he's definitely worth the $4, obviously, but you'd like to see him step up the assists and steals categories.
True.
All right.
Get another name.
On to the next one. We got last season's runner-up.
Deer.
I think Deer had a really good offseason, honestly. Just the fact that he got those 2 studs back, that's a great offseason. He's going to be right. Those 2 guys, both top 12 guys, and when you have 2 of those guys that high, you're going to be right there. I love Jeremy Lin signing. Chris Middleton is definitely a right at about value at 29. Ibaka should be solid. Like, he's going to be right there again. I do think his team is like a little bit worse than last year, just because last year he had a couple more value contracts, in my opinion. But he's going to be right there again with everybody else.
He's also got these guys like Courtney Lee and Lauer who like really help the back end of your roster if you're a team like Gear.
Who?
Courtney Lee and
Courtney
John
Lee.
Lauer.
John Lauer?
Yeah.
John Lore?
Lure?
Yeah, we. Oh yeah, you didn't know who I was talking about. Okay. Yeah, that guy. They have him. He has him. He's on Gear's team. Rashawn Holmes. That was also another good signing.
Gear's got Dave's oafish twin from whatever country he's from.
Gear has Boban.
Yeah. Gear is loading up on bad Detroit bigs for some reason.
Boban's not good.
No, it's not good at all.
I love
Sorry.
Boban. I can't get enough of Boban.
He's a great 10 minutes at a time. He can't play any type of consistent role. He can't match up versus smaller players. He just can't do it.
He's simply just not skilled enough.
Yo, is Tyler Johnson any good?
He's actually not that bad. He's a guy that comes off the bench and gives you quick 15, kind of like a popcorn run and gun kind of player.
Yeah. I mean, he's not worth, what are they paying him? Like $54 million or something like that?
Yeah.
Have you heard the story about that?
Nah.
Didn't the Nets sign him and then Miami matched?
The Heat had to match it. But it's like the contract was like 6, 19, 19, something like that. So this year he's getting paid like 6 or 7 or something. Last year got paid 6 or 7. The next 2 years after this he's getting paid like 19 apiece. So it's crazy.
Keep cashing them checks.
Yeah, I mean, I had Tyler Johnson and I could have re-signed him for 5, but I wanted the flexibility to not. I think he might be worth 8. I'm just not sure about it. That team is so they got Waiters, Dragic. I'm a big Josh Richardson guy. They got Justice Winslow. They just have so many guys there that play 1 through 3, and I just don't know how much Tyler fits into it. But he'll probably put up 12 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and a steal, and that's you're getting close to $8 there. It's not terrible. I don't know.
And I'll say this: I'll add with Rashawn Holmes. Embiid is naturally going to sit out games. As a result, Rashawn Holmes is going to directly benefit from that. So he'll see a lot more playing time. He's looking pretty solid.
But he's also hurt.
Oh, trash.
It isn't that bad an injury, right? He'll be back in a month.
Fractured wrist.
Yeah. Who needs wrists?
Yeah.
I mean, Markelle Fultz is doing it without his wrist now. He's just throwing it up there like this. So,
So
when I first saw that,
I'm a big Rashawn Holmes guy, but I'm also thinking that there might be a lot of times where you see Dario and Ben Simmons running 4-5 in a small ball lineup. So I just don't know. Even when Embiid sits out, I don't know because they got Amir Johnson too. Not that Amir Johnson's any good, but I think I don't know what Rashawn Holmes is actually going to give you in terms of true fantasy value.
Here's what I will say. I think Rashawn Holmes is better than Dario Saric at the sport of basketball.
oh,
Maybe not for fantasy, but at the actual sport of basketball, I think Rashawn Holmes is better than Dario Saric.
yes.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm so insulted right now.
I'm insulted.
Dario's not that good. Y'all overrating Dario.
Have you seen the White Knight? I mean, that's out there on the court. He's shooting, he's passing.
Dario Saric is going to be 6 points, 2 for 5 from 3, 4 rebounds. That's going to be his line this year.
I don't think. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
18 yet. Has he played with the Sixers?
All right, yeah. Because 2K never got anything wrong. They only had Ben Gordon in 09 as the best player in the history of the game. So
Him and JR are unstoppable.
Dude,
Ben Jordan, Mike Bibby.
Ben
Strauss about
Jordan.
Mike Bibby, yeah. Mike Strauss used to play with the goddamn Heat and just shoot with Mike Bibby. Like they had Braun, they had Wade, but Mike Bibby would lay you up.
Mike didn't have buckets, man.
what can I make a what was your expectation for Dario?
6 and 4.
6
I might
and
be
4.
all right. So it might be a little better than that, but like let's just temper the expectations.
MT.
I'm insulted beyond belief. I just want to move on.
All right, his team is good, so we know his team's good. Very good.
Yeah. All right. What next one?
Gears in.
Next one?
In the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah, easily.
Like,
We got the next team, Anthony
Hey.
Frau.
let's do it.
He is out. Let's go. Move on.
I think this is called trust in the process. Yo, I love Thon Maker though. I think he's gonna be a stud. And Avery Bradley, another free agent after this season. That's a good way to place to spend your money on. But Frau, I only have one question for you. I need some type of scouting report on Celtics 13th man, Semi Ojeleye.
I'm so in on Semi. I'm in on like guarding 1 through 5, like 2 years from now being like Draymond Light. I'm so in on Semi.
So in like 2 years, he might be worth like a $4 in this league or something.
Yeah, I'm all about future value. I'm all about just trying to like quadruple my value later. Interest, business. So it's called an investment.
Hashtag VSB.
I do like. I mean, you got a lot of young guys, but Kareem Prince, I think, could be a real asset for you. I think he'll outplay.
I like Prince a lot. I do.
Son, I think, obviously, he'll outplay his dollar value. I mean, it's. I mean, we know you're not going to make the playoffs this year, but
or next year probably. But
nicely, you have set yourself up nicely for the future. You got money to burn next offseason. You can hopefully go out and grab some good players, like IT.
All right. I think that's it, right?
In or out of like
out.
top 14.
Out. Very, very, very good odds at winning the lottery. Very good odds.
Yeah.
We've done it before. We're gonna do it again.
All right.
Who's
Maybe
next?
Malcolm Brogdon falls out.
Wait, yeah, I do have one. I hate Malcolm Brogdon. That's all I would like to say.
All right.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
All right. We got another member of this team right here.
There he is.
TM.
MT's team always morphs into something different, like month to month. So I don't know if it's even fair to talk about its current like incarnation. I mean, he does have
under half gets traded this season.
Not into a fucking double. Oh, sorry.
What?
Sorry. Not just into a double.
Over under what, Hinson?
Half these players get traded.
I'll take the under because I have like no room to trade anybody.
Yeah, I mean, like MT's got like no cap room for 2 years, like somehow. I don't know how he managed to do that.
I pretty much locked my team in last year with the trades that I made to like set myself.
A subtle scratching of his head showing off the ring. Oh yeah, last year I locked my team in.
I have no idea. Like this team just seems like in terms of categories, like a jack of all trades, master of none type of thing. Like
that's a perfect way to describe it.
What? No, he's like a rebound, blocks, relatively low turnover, threes build. So he's got like those 4 categories are really strong. The other categories, field goal should be good too. Like he's gonna win 5 or 6 categories every week. He's never gonna win like 8.
But now I'm seeing like but now he's got like. Did you just sign Bohan this offseason, MT?
What's that?
Did you just sign Bohan this offseason?
Bojan?
Yeah.
No, I traded for him. I gave PT a first-round pick for him last year.
Oh, right, that deal at the end. All right.
I would have traded the first round for Bogdanovich, but we'll see.
Yo, don't sleep on Bogdan though. I'm in on Bogdan.
I'm in on Bogdan too. I just don't know how much he's going to actually play. Jacks, wake up.
All right, trade him to me.
You guys started talking about Bogdanovich being good.
It's all about synergies. Having them two playing together in America is going to be a good thing for them.
I like how you have a column for current team. That's like helping me sort this all out.
Yeah, I started doing that because I realized I had J.R. Smith, Derrick Rose, and D Wade now on the same team, and I'm trying to figure that situation out.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about that is like when one of them sits, the other two should like get more minutes. So if you like come across that in the playoffs, they're not going to all sit on the same night most likely. So that's like it's kind of like hedging your bets because you know D Wade's going to sit some games and you know D Rose is going to sit some games. But since you have all of them, like you're kind of hedging against that.
Yeah, and I mean at the end of the day, I can cut Rose without him and J.R. Smith are the last year of their deals. D Wade's only got $5, so like I could honestly cut all three of them if I wanted to, if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right about that. Also, I think Bobby Portis is a good bet.
Free Bobby Portis.
Bobby, man. I mean,
he should be free this year. Much to Frow's dismay.
I waited years to unleash that guy.
I mean, who else are they going to rely on in Chicago? I mean, Robin Lopez is legitimately the best player on
Cristiano Felicio.
I'm also heavily buying in on Alex Len being an absolute steal at $5 this year, because I honest to God think he's betting on himself. He's in a contract year. That's just prime. Like he's better than Tyson Chandler. Like who else is going to play at center?
Like I don't know, like Bender and
literally anyone else. Literally anyone else.
Okay.
I took a trade getting Dragon Bender from Hampton. I'm probably with
MT in or MT out?
Definitely in.
Yeah, I think he's in too.
Strong in.
I mean, if he's not going to be in, he'll make himself in by the end of the year.
If I'm out, then I will go all in. It's kind of how.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So can we get a recap real quick of who's in what?
So I have I don't know what the names are. Division 1, we have RT, Dearman, Lions, T09, Gear, and MT. Division 2, we have Jats, the Money Team, PT, Zert, and myself. So we have 11 teams picked so far. 5 to go.
All right. Next one.
Spina. My man.
All right.
Spina's team is good, but I'm going to say that it's bad because he doesn't like my team apparently. So Spina's team is bad. It's just like his CMBL team where it's like too old to actually win and like would have been really good a couple of years ago and probably won't win because of that. But he has like one really, really, really nice, good young player in Towns, which is just like Trey Turner. But in the end, it'll probably just end in disappointment.
Strong words.
Fuck you for putting me ninth, Spina. Fuck you for putting me ninth.
So, am I remembering correctly? Spina got number 2 in the coaches poll.
I think Spina was 4.
Okay,
or maybe 3. It was me, Gear, Dave, and Spina as the top 4 though. Yeah.
Who's number 1 again?
Gear. There's Gear, Dave, me, Spina, I think.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I mean, Favors that good. We'll see. He's been hurt a lot.
I think
Lowry.
I think he's too guard heavy.
I think he's also overpaid for Nerlens Noel.
No, I could not. I completely disagree with that.
Do you think if Nerlens was on the free agency market last season, like in our OBA season, that somebody would have paid him $30 or $40? That's basically what you're saying. You think his value is More than 21, essentially.
Nerlens is one of the few players in the league that legitimately could have 2 steals and 2 blocks a game, and that is so valuable that I would easily pay 25 for Nerlens. I don't know about 35 or 40, but I would easily pay 25 to have Nerlens on my team right now.
Would you pay more to have Nerlens than Robert Covington?
No. I think that's betting too much on a jump. If you're spending that much money, you're betting on a jump from Nerlens, whereas you've already seen that from Covington.
Cov is really not. He's so efficient. I mean, he doesn't fit my team build, but for my team, but Covington's really efficient. I like Covington a lot. I would if they were the same price, I would still take Noel though.
I don't know why I just decided to ask Covington. I feel like that was just the first name that came to my mind. But just looking at, I mean, obviously with Towns and all the guards, Spina's going to be there. I just don't know. Top 4 is a big leap. Didn't he miss the playoffs?
Yeah, but he had a bunch of injuries last year. I mean, he was able to flip Rubio with Lowry, and it made his team better for this season. I don't know. Nerlens only played 20 minutes a game last year. He's going to play 28, 29 this year. So I think that he's going to be a lot better.
And I mean, Nerlens also necessarily not a guy who's not injury prone. So
that's true. I mean, Lowry has had injury issues recently. Favors has injury issues recently. Gasol has injury issues. They all have injury issues. So that's that's what jumps out to me. I love Austin Rivers on $5 though. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, I would say Spina definitely made out by Jackson, RT, trying to send off all their money so they could get Oladipo, which I think Spina's team will compete now. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's a top 14 like you guys voted on, but he's definitely capable of competing now while also getting future assets. So good for him.
I think
he'll be in.
Yeah, I think he's definitely. I think he's a playoff team. This is a team that I don't think, looking at it right now, I'd say is a top 3 team in the league. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if this team managed to make a run, if it were fully healthy by the end of the year, to win it all. Those chances are probably slim, but I said a couple times earlier, chip in a chair. You get in and you just have everything clicking. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw Spina win it all this year.
He's gonna love that you just used that quote to describe his team. He's all about chip in a chair.
Chip in a chair, man. Chip in a chair.
It's also Spina, so he'll probably make 5 deals before the first month of the season is over to shake things up.
I'd say he would only win it all if Marquise Chris 2 steps up. I don't think he's going to be in that conversation.
Marquise Chris is one of those guys that they're going to play over Alex Len, MT.
Yeah.
Or next to him.
All right, so next, are we ready for the next team? This is the worst team name in the league. We got Bobby Knight rules. I don't really get it at all, to be honest. But Fighter had the great offseason signing of Steph Curry at $80. But other than that, I think his offseason was honestly pretty terrible. I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but he just made a lot of decisions that, in my opinion, didn't make any sense. Hazonia for 9, Justice Winslow for 8. That's just not – you could have had $17. You could have had another, nice piece to add with Curry and Giannis. And, Jabari Parker's, already out for the first half of the season. You're going to spend $15 on him. If you had declined those 3 options, you would have had another $50 and would have been able to get you take those 3 off and you add Paul George to this team, and it's a legit contender. But with those 3 guys, I just don't see it.
Can you do that math for me again real quick?
Oh my god.
You got 9 for Hazonia, 8 for Winslow, 15 for Jabari Parker, and he has 20. Oh, he has 8 in soft cap. All right, but still, that's
I thought you added up 15. I thought you were adding up to 50, but I think you said 15. I was like, wait a minute, what did you just do there?
I mean, it's close to 50. If you got 8 plus 9 plus 15 plus 8.
You cut Hazonia and you signed Paul George, and this is a championship team.
No, I'm just saying he could have done that. He could have done that.
The thing is, Fighter's like 2 years away.
Yeah,
the thing is, he only has Giannis at a value for 2 more years, so that's like.
That's the thing. Okay, so if you re-sign, if you re-sign Giannis, or even next year, if you re-sign Giannis, Brandon Ingram takes a step up, plays like the #1 guy he's supposed to be. Jaylen Brown takes a step up. Markelle stops shooting like an idiot. And Jason Tatum's only going to get better as he continues to play and grow within Brad Stevens' offense. So, like 2 years, like you're looking at 4 players on really good deals, only having to pay maybe Giannis and Steph Curry. I think that's still not bad.
I'm calling my shot now. I'm going hard at Giannis when he's up because Klay Thompson will be off the books.
I'm out.
This is, it's just the timelines like don't really add up for Fighter. I got to agree. Even though I love like that group of Ingram, Brown, Fulton, Tatum, like at some point, like it's cool that they get to grow together. But like, when is Steph Curry at $80 not as great anymore? Like when does, I mean, obviously it's worth it now, but
he's probably $80 worth the next 2 years, and then Giannis comes up, and it's like if he is able to keep Giannis, he's going to be paying 2 guys, what, $160, $170 with those younger guys trying to get options and stuff. Like, yeah, it's tough sledding here. I think he's going to have to make some kind of move soon.
You're paying 2 MVP candidates. That's like, what's wrong with? I mean, I know it's a lot of money, but like.
I think the money to them is fine. I just think it's what he's supplementing with the money is not.
Yeah, I just think it's just going to be. I mean, because I think with the 4 guys we mentioned earlier, being on those kind of family-friendly contracts, if he gets 2 albatrosses, he just has to sign the right kind of, $1, $2, $3 guys, and his team's right back where it should be.
You can definitely do it. Yeah, it's just something that you really need to plan out, and it's going to be tough if he is like, let's say he's even in contention this year, like toward the trade deadline, he's going to be getting offers to move like those younger guys to push the chips in. It's going to be tough to resist. Like you'll be second guessing every thought you have. It'll be tough. It's just a tough sort of thing for fighters to have to deal with.
I think he has too many dead roster spots right now. Like Mario, Winslow. Like, what are these guys going to do? Like, we don't even know. Jabari's out for half the season. If they're 2 torn ACLs, like.
I kind of see him as like where Frau sort of was last year. Only Frau's team was better. Like he had those 2 studs, and then I think just after that, it's like, what happens? Especially if one of those guys gets hurt, then you're like, you got nothing. And I think Frau kind of saw that late and is like, okay, I need to sort of trust the process right now. Whereas like Fighter's kind of locked into either pushing all in or just riding out and hoping to God that these younger guys develop earlier than you'd expect. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fighter trusted the process very well. It's just that, like, this offseason was his chance to get to, like, strike. And he got Curry, which is huge. And I'm not going to debate that. But, like, he needed to add somebody else, too.
Looking at Fighter's offseason, like, I think it just is a credit even more so to Jatz's offseason. Like, compare those 2 offseasons, and Jats just, like, had a much better time.
All right, give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to add too. Like that's why I was saying like it's even though I was kind of upset that I missed out on Kevin Durant and James Harden and Steph Curry. It's like Russ at 69 was the better value for him to get an MVP candidate. Plus, you still go out and get a guy like an Evan Fournier, even though he might not be a sexy name. He's like leading scorer.
It's literally not a sexy name. Like, don't ever Google Fournier.
Oh no, he's Basura. We know that.
No,
like Melo. I mean, like I'm extremely happy about Melo. That actually it opens it up for better looks for him. The defense will be honed in on Russ and Paul. Like he'll get his point.
How did we start talking about Jax's team? in the 1 second that
so when you had the blow dryer, like I said that like fighters off season and like lack of fireworks like only made it feel like Jats did even better this off season.
Oh, that's true.
That was the segue, yeah.
All right, so we in or out on fighter?
Right on the border. This is the guy that's like 8 or 9 for me.
I think fighter's in, but I don't think that he can win.
Yeah.
I think he's in as well. Yeah, I don't think he can win either, though. We'll see.
All right.
Maybe
what do you think, Greg? Greg says no. All right.
Zig.
My brother. My man.
Will Zig smoke more blunts today or win more matchups this season?
Zig. Ooh. Zig's team definitely have gone like way back and forth on each time I look at it.
Well, they got the greatest player in the league, Dario Saric, so he's probably going to be mad nice, right?
I mean, I'm not high on his team, but I'll take the blunts. Smoked.
Yep. I think Paul Millsap was a great deal that he's going to end up trading for like 3 or 4 picks or something like that because his team's going to be way out of it. And Paul Millsap is like 30-something. And I think that it's time for a rebuild for Zig. I know Zig doesn't really rebuild, but free up some space for next year by getting like LaMarcus and Millsap and Teague and Schroeder, who are all on good contracts. You got to get them out and get like a foundational piece in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's working some young blood in there with like Buddy was looking good at the end of last year. Malik Monk, Rodney Hood, the God Saric. So like Zig doesn't do the full rebuild, but he retools his roster when you're not paying attention. Like he did it in CMBL and he's doing it here. Or not, or you just like feel like you didn't do that.
I think Greg fell asleep looking at Zig's team.
No, I was doing something else real quick. Yeah, I kind of go back and forth on Zig's team as well. I think he's got really good contracts. Obviously, he lost Kyrie, the 80 whatever $1 million man he is now, but I think Zig is a very, very middle team and will always – I don't mean that in a bad way. Like he's always going to be around, but he's never going to be able to make the move with the way his roster is currently constructed.
His best players are his best players I'm looking at obviously beside Millsap are LaMarcus Aldridge, DeRozan, Rudy Gay. None of those names really strike fear.
Will DeMar DeRozan average more than 1 3-pointer a game this year?
No, not a chance. My man only wants to drive to the hole. Like, it's respectable. I get it. You're the man. I like the mid-range, but for the love of God, man. Like, it's just I'm not very high on his team. I do think, though, that Malik Monk will pan out in Charlotte. Now that Nick Batum is out for a little bit, he's got some time to get some real NBA minutes. So that could be a positive for him in the future. But for right now, I'm out on Zig making the playoffs. I am in, though, on mini blunt smoked. Hopefully soon.
I don't know how I don't know how we keep going with Zig after that. I think you just gotta end it with that. And yeah, I'm in on Zig at the 8 spot.
I'm out.
Next team.
All right, Dave.
Next team.
Dave.
Baby.
Dave. What can you say about Dave?
Well,
where to begin?
MT, do you have any thoughts on Dave?
But he probably has a value contract, maybe in the league with Porzingis
and Miles Turner.
And
I think Josh Richardson might have been the best contract sign this offseason. Maybe
you're that high on Josh Richardson.
A little too high on my man.
Yeah. I think that he's going to really bring it in the non-flashy stats. Like, I think he's going to get blocks. And he already said he wants to break Dwayne Wade's blocks record for a shooting guard. Like he wants to do stuff like that, and it's so valuable that I think that he's really going to be worth it, and I think he's going to be a stud.
He is the preseason 151st ranked player.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
I think Dave's team has some okay players. He'll be around, but he's got Justin Holiday and Jerry and Grant. They stink. Jonathan Simmons, I don't know if he's actually going to develop into like an actual like threat. Dwayne Dedman stinks. J. Michael Green's okay. Harkless blows. Collison, can't trust that guy.
I mean, this team is about the top like 4 guys in the squad.
Irving's overpaid. Chris Paul. There's only one ball.
Playoffs. It's those 5 that we
He's got 5 guys who would go in the first 2 rounds of a redraft league. He's got 5 guys for the first 2 rounds.
I think he's honestly he's stacked in the top half. He's gonna make the playoffs, and with these 5 guys, I mean, literally anything can happen. I would actually say that Wavy's in the contention with a top 3, even though the rest of his team is pure doo-doo. I don't think it's gonna make it.
Yeah, I think Dave sneaks in the playoffs and probably exits early again.
I think he's pretty easily in the playoffs and a contender. So we're on to the last team.
Yeah.
Wait, so does that mean Dave's in our division? Motherfuck, our division's gonna be ridiculous.
Wait, yeah, Henson, rally off the names for the divisions one more time. I'm sorry.
We only got one more team, so we'll do it afterwards. The last team is Spina 2, a.k.a. Spence.
Spence.
Obviously, re-signed Kevin Durant. Big move.
What the fuck is his...
Why is John Collins $10?
Yeah, what? Did that actually, was that like how he...
What does Choir Sultan mean?
All right, I'm getting
What is what?
Spence.
What is going on?
Sorry, I had to move.
There's some True Detective shit right now with the tracking
You guys are
shots.
getting a little tour of my apartment.
Hey, the humble Henson abode.
Yo, Hinson, can we see the grand lobby entrance too, or no?
No,
Okay.
you gotta come here to see that.
Don't want to see something dope though. Hey Google, turn the living room lights red.
You got it. Lights red.
Well, you can't really tell, but it's red. So
You can see on the back.
Yeah, that light that there. Exhibit A. That was sick.
it was.
Yo,
Technology's
wait.
awesome.
Wait, can I say that through this to like the computer that have it happen?
Go closer to the. All right, go ahead and say it.
Hey Google, turn the lights red or blue. I guess they.
Sorry, I can't help with that.
You gotta just choose a color. Just choose.
Oh.
A color.
Google, turn the lights blue.
Hey Google.
Hey Google, turn the lights blue.
You got it.
Whoa!
Yes, Lynn. This is not CGI. Yes, Lynn.
Another
Oh, yeah.
How come
another
the blue is,
monumental moment.
how come the blue is so much stronger than the red?
I don't know. I think one of the lights just didn't go red when I asked it to for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now it's like what the color's supposed to be. Another cool thing is like you can tell it all the Pokemon colors, and it still turns it. like Lavender Town, like what else is there? Like Vermilion, Cerulean. You can tell it to turn to those colors.
An astonishing monumental content moment
Not really sure how we got there.
brought to you by Big Baller Jacks yet again.
Oh,
Dude, I mean, like, who else in the league can turn their room a different color, like, at the drop of a hat? Like, This is why he's got my vote this year.
Get me. No. So we're going back to regular to finish out strong. No.
Who are we
I don't
talking
even know
about?
where to go after this.
But you gotta have lights for different moods. Your girl come over, turn the lights, a nice subtle shade of red or like a nice pink or salmon. Really set things off right.
Set things off.
And what I'm saying is buy the color changing lights. I'm a fan.
I know exactly what I'm doing as soon as I get off of this right now. Oh my god.
So can I be our first sponsor?
Absolutely.
Oh,
All right, so we got
All right.
Spence, aka Choir Sultan is his new team name, which I have no idea what that means, and it scares the hell out of me.
Oh, that's Spence?
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering who that was too. Interesting team name choice. But I do like his team. I do
I like
like
his team. Every time I look at it, I like it a little more, honestly. I think Fox and Smith are nice.
Yeah.
And I think
really
Gary
solid
Harris
stop.
is mad nice.
Dennis Smith.
But he needs like another star to really become like a contender. So he needs like Smith or Fox to make like that jump.
He's going to have a decent chunk of cap money next year with Jeff and Chandler off the books finally.
Yeah.
And I don't
yeah,
really
agree.
like. I don't really hate it after that. So see if he can add like a guy or two. And Spence is always getting the deal. So
It's the truth.
Does he keep Julius Randle after this season?
Maybe. Probably not, honestly. I don't think he's worth 12.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, we'll
But if
see
there's no one else suspended on in free agency, maybe he will.
just bide your time, man.
just freeing up Crowder, just snatch up all the food.
I really like Spence's like key pieces for the next couple years, and maybe he gets lucky and someone's willing to take on one of those two contracts that he can free up some space before the season's over. But if those two, if the Chandler, Jefferson, Johnson pieces stay intact, I don't see any way that he does anything this year. But if he's able to maneuver, he might sneaky like make a late run. So he's definitely a team to watch out for right now, but not someone that I expect to actually compete at this point.
He can make some noise, though.
Yeah,
I mean, if he wanted to, he could just cut those guys now if he saw like some young guy who wanted to take a chance on.
That's true. No downside at this point.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, I might just cut those guys now. You know what you're getting with Jefferson.
Yeah.
I think both of them there. I end up trading away.
Were both of those contracts originally signed by Jax?
Of course they are.
Of course.
If
I think that's all we needed to know.
Yeah, the only contract that was not my fault is Tobias Harris at 43. So like, there's
Yeah, I did that one, but I traded it.
mistake.
Whatever.
Oh,
All right. So I don't know, thoughts on Spence? Spence, I feel like
Always.
Spence is out.
I think he's
Let's
out,
go!
but I think it's close.
Let's go! Let's fucking go, baby!
The Dodgers on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go! Walk up, home run! Woo!
Hey Doodle, turn the room blue.
Bro, say it one more time.
Yo, wait, shit. It was-
Hey Doodle, turn the room blue.
Sorry, I'm not sure which
Turn
device you
say
guys
turn the
can
living
control.
room lights.
Can you be more specific?
Hey Doodle, turn the living room lights blue.
Damn it. There you go. Hey Google, turn the living room lights blue.
Sure, changing to
Oh, it's lit!
It looks like the headline is available right now.
Oh, we out here! Oh, I got a % left.
All right, I guess we got to sign off.
We are so out here right now.
I can't believe that we literally are ending as the Dodgers hit a walk-off home run.
Incredible. Incredible. Couldn't plan it any better.
All right. I don't know. So we got to run down real quick to the divisions.
Yeah, spin them back, and then everyone pick a champion.
Division 1 is RT, Dearman, Lions, TO9, MB, MT, Fighter, and Dave. Division 2 is Jats, the Money Team, PT, Zerk, Frau, Spina, Zig, Spina 2.
I'm just gonna say right now, Division 1 is going to be an absolute bloodbath and is considerably better than Division 2. No offense.
Okay.
That's
No
taken.
whatsoever. I'm very happy about that.
Who is the champ this year? Jats.
I mean, I want to see myself, to be honest with you, but like, I'm not going to do that. So, who was it again? Fuck, that had it was Chris Paul. The Wavy
Dave.
Yeah, I actually think
Let's see.
Dave is set up nicely to win. I'm taking Wavy.
I'm gonna go with Gear. I think he revenges last season. Gets it done.
MT.
We going back to back.
I like me
We
some
going
me.
back to back. I'm picking myself just because I'm not picking Dave, and I can't pick Lines again, and I'm not going to pick Hinton. And as much as because, well, Jax, I could pick you, but what if I need you to show me that you can win first before I take that leap.
I have no such insecurities about my pick. I'm sticking with the big baller brand Jats to win it this year.
Proud of boy. Let's go.
I'm all in on Jats this year.
Triple B's. I can't wait.
Buckets. I'm all in on them.
Brad, you're getting the first pair of SJ1s.
As long as they come with like blue lights on the bottom of them that I can like talk to.
like you used to have when you were like 9 years old. And shit.
LA Gears, baby. Let's bring them back.
I like yours. All right. First content of the year for OBA, Kamish, Jats, MT, Frau. In the butts.
Show you love.
We out.
Been a pleasure, fellas.